Yo, what's up everybody? How's it going? Today we're playing Gladiators, which is of course made by EOM Games, and specifically we're gonna play as Faceless Void, because I want to show you what I think is the most powerful build in the game. Now, let me be clear here. I mean most powerful as in if you have all the pieces, this just pops off so hard that I honestly don't know what can build it. Not necessarily the best, right? The best is probably the most consistent build. But this is just a build where, like, if you get everything, like, holy shit, what do you even do? So, what can you do? Well, we'll see. All right, let's get into it. All right, hello, friends. We got ourselves Faceless Void. And then we're gonna go for Magic Surge and Blood Shield right away. Because the primary build path we're playing today is going to be Ultimate and Health. Which is a little funky, right? That's a little bit weird. You would expect Faceless Void, who is centered all around attacking, to be about attacking. And as much as attacking is good, don't get me wrong, this build right here actually relies on something else entirely. Now, that's not entirely true, actually. That's just... Let me maybe correct that a bit. We are going to do some attacking, right? And we will pick up attack upgrades. That is part of the build. However, our primary paths are Ultimate and Health. Because, and that's where it gets crazy. So, you see here, level 15, we have Unleashing Chronosphere erases damage taken in the past 1 second. Okay, that's pretty good, right? We can all agree immediately that that seems like a powerful upgrade, and like it is. It's just obviously very powerful. But it's actually quite a bit better than you might even expect. And that's because we can get ourselves upgrades for our health that work really nicely with that. With, for example, Blood of Magic. For every 400 health lost, we gain 18 mana. Oh. So if we take damage, we gain mana. And then we use our ultimate and we heal off the damage. So we take damage again and we gain mana. We kind of create a loop, right? But the thing is, we can also get this and this and this. And all of these upgrades. So whenever we take damage, yes, we gain mana. And then we heal off the mana. But also whenever we take damage, we apply other effects. And our opponents are going to have a harder time healing those off. So that's the general plan here. It's all about tanking up, and it's all about spamming our ultimate as much as possible. It's a bit of a slower build. We do need quite a lot of upgrades to really make it work. But if you get there, it goes hard. We'll get Venom Strike. It's actually a pretty good way of dealing some damage here. And then we also do go for attack. Attack is good, don't get me wrong. Mostly attack is really good because attack lets you get a lot of triggers. Pretty much every attack upgrade is a trigger of some sorts, right? So this triggers healing, this triggers poison, this triggers mana. This is just damage, this is just damage reduction. But this triggers frost, this triggers shield, this gives you extra HP, which helps you get triggers. This triggers injury, right? And then this right here, these right here are only reverse triggers. And this right here gives you Fury on a trigger, right? So these are really, really good effects. And yeah, that's the general idea. We'll see if we can pull it off. Let's have a quick look at what we're going up against. So there's a Legion Commander, Shadow Fiend, Pangolier, that's the scariest hero for us. Sniper, Chaos Knight, Ogre Magi, and an Ember Spirit. Wow, is that a full lobby of unique characters? That's kind of fun. Alright, interesting. Let's see what we can do here. The biggest problems for our build are heroes that just like attack. Heroes that don't care that much about being caught in Chronosphere, basically. Now, I should probably explain what Chronosphere does specifically, because it doesn't quite do what you expect it to. So, Chronosphere increases our attack speed and then inflicts a lock on the target. And lock reduces attack speed and mana regeneration by 50%. So it doesn't stun, but it does drastically reduce what our opponents can do. And that's where Ultimate is also really nice, because with Ultimate we can get Arcane Suppression. And Arcane Suppression makes it so our opponents have less mana regen. If we have enough mana regen, we can have permanent ultimate. With permanent ultimate, we are constantly healing. We have their attack speed and mana regeneration reduced by 50%. And then we can reduce their mana regen even more with this. They will just not be able to cast their ultimate. They just will not be able to do it. And there are quite a few builds in the game that just die to that. Like, they literally cannot win. It is just impossible to win against that. And that's the plan. So, will this work? Honestly, yeah. This is an incredibly powerful build. It's not necessarily a guaranteed win because, like, it needs a lot of things to get going. So, this is the strongest build, in my opinion. This is the most unbeatable build if you manage to set it up fully. That's not to say it's the best build. There's lots of debate to be had over what's the best build, right? But the best build is a build that's like really consistent and easy to get, probably. This build isn't that. It's not super consistent to get. It just kind of requires a lot of pieces. But if you have all of the pieces, I genuinely do not know how you can win against it. So I guess that's that. Maybe the new Lich could actually. Like, I guess Lich just got reworked. And the new Lich is pretty strong, so maybe that. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think there's a Lich in the lobby though, so we don't have to worry about that. Are we gonna lose? You gotta be kidding me. Holy shit. Okay, we got wrecked by the creep. Everybody got wrecked by the creep. Oh, that's not a good one. It's not too bad though. It's actually kind of fine. All right, let's get this. We could get Flame of Cure actually. We could go for a little bit of Fury, but we're already dipping into free things. Not worth it. Let's just go for ultimate. Let's just go for all of the other stuff, right? Like committing into 4 branches, it's just not necessary. It's not something we can really afford. I think it's just a bit too expensive, right? Anyway, I guess that about sums it up. In terms of upgrades, we are looking primarily for the attack mana regen stuff. So critical strike gives you mana regen, and attacking gives you mana regen. Blood of Magic, of course, is also crucially important in Magic Surge. The other ultimate upgrades are good, but not like as good. We're still probably gonna get them though, because this is primarily an ultimate-based build. One thing about this build though that I really enjoy, and that I think makes this actually like a bit more consistent in other ultimate-based builds, is that we don't care that much about initiative. So initiative is the legendary that makes you immediately cast your ultimate, and initiative is excellent, don't get me wrong, but that's kind of the problem. There are lots of heroes that really want initiative and just like need it to pop off. This build actually doesn't care that much about initiative since we're mostly using Chronosphere to heal off damage. So it's fine if we take some damage before we're using Chronosphere, like that's just okay. And because we are building health, hopefully we have enough health to be able to just like kind of tank a little bit. So yeah. I've recently started getting into some anime. Yeah, what have you been watching? I've been watching, I've been looking at the slideshow that is Dungeon Meshi, and I'm still thoroughly enjoying all 16 frames per episode. I do very much enjoy those 16 frames. My theory is that Dungeon Meshi, they had a budget of $2 million and they spend 1.5 million on the theme song. Watch Demon Slayer, now starring Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, I love Jujutsu Kaisen. Although Jujutsu Kaisen is definitely something that's like, it's the way I would recommend Jujutsu Kaisen. I love Jujutsu. I am fucking that. I love that manga. It's so good. Anime is great too. It's actually a lot more, like there's a lot more to it than is like clear at surface level. So what I would recommend with it is honestly, watch the anime once just for the spectacle and the visuals and all of that. And I would recommend reading the manga afterwards, because Jujutsu Kaisen is really one of those things where if you read it twice or you consume it twice, then you just kind of get a bit more of an understanding of what's actually going on. Hey, Astral Storms, thanks for the 30 months. And that kind of like helps a lot with following along a bit, and you can enjoy it while just kind of turning off your brain, and I think it is a lot of fun in that way too. But if you start paying attention to what's going on, it's actually like pretty clever. Like there's a lot of world building going on, and it's a really unique world in that way. I'm a big enjoyer of Jujutsu Kaisen, I have to say.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Okay.
6,
Maybe just against Frostbite Legendary if enough burst damage could counter it. Frostbite Legendary is very good against us, yeah. You should leave a rating on the video. Up until now, I've only watched Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh! Rest in peace. Oh yeah, Akira Toriyama, rest in peace, buddy. That guy is crazy. Like, honestly, the impact that man has had on culture, like global culture, crazy, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. But to be honest, Dragon Ball, especially Dragon Ball Z, I haven't actually seen like the anime stuff. I only read the manga, right? But Dragon Ball Z, I actually read it not too long ago, and I have to say, it held up it holds up a lot better than I feel like people give it credit for. Like, it's actually just good. I don't know why I thought that wouldn't be the case. I don't know about you, but like, when I reread Dragon Ball, because like I feel like over time, the discourse on Dragon Ball has shifted a little bit, where a lot of people are just like, well, it was good for the time. Right? That's kind of what it's become. And I disagree. I think it's good. I think it's just good. That's just it. I actually, and this may be controversial, I actually think the original Dragon Ball, like not Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball, is even better than Dragon Ball Z. And I think Dragon Ball Z is really good as well. No, we're getting wrecked right now. It's okay. That's fine. This happens. Early game is always a little bit of a struggle for builds like this. Okay. These are good. Lots of HP. Lots and lots of HP. That's what we like. So I'm also buying magic suppression right away. And that's actually something we could possibly skip, but it's good. It's nice. 10, 8, did you... Finocchi, I see you're trying to push the Baumi thing. Finocchi had that idea earlier and has just been pushing it in chat, pushing the agenda. Do you watch or read Death Note? I read Death Note, yeah. I mean, honestly, I read a lot of comics in general. I'm currently reading Watchmen. And you can just generally assume that I have read it. There's just a very high chance that I have. But, so, I like Death Note a lot. The original, like, I think everybody agrees that the, like, start of Death Note is good. And the end of Death Note is mediocre. And can I say one thing? I'm just gonna spoil Death Note if you haven't seen it, right? Sorry. It's like a 20-year-old show at this point, though. Yeah, it's pretty old. So I disagree with why a lot of I agree that Death Note is a lot better in the first half. I disagree with the arguments that people make as to why. Right? That I disagree with. Because here's why I think here's why I think the second half of Death Note doesn't work. And that's because Light was right. Within the world of Death Note, Light's system of tyranny worked. It worked. He was correct. And that's the problem, right? What Death Note did is the beginning of it is this like one-on-one contest about who is smarter and whose philosophy will prevail, right? And then it turns out Light is smarter. And then Death Note actually validates Light by saying, yes, and Light was not only smarter, but also his philosophy does work, right? He enacts his tyranny on the world, and then the world becomes a safer place. There is less crime, right? There is less violence because people know they're going to be punished by the Death Note. So it works. And then what Death Note does is it just gives him a new antagonist. He is just another guy to fight against. And you just have to win this fight too, Light. What the second part of Death Note should have been is it should have been Light versus the world. And not literally the world, not the entire world, but it should have been Light versus society. Where at first it seems idyllic. It seems like, okay, what Light was doing worked. But then you see it doesn't. All he has created is tyranny, and that people are now acting in the underground, that regular people don't feel safe, that even the slightest things are punished, right? That nobody feels like they're able to live a safe and happy life. That's what it should have been. And what should have been his downfall shouldn't have stemmed from just another super genius finding him, or even two super geniuses finding him. What should have been his downfall should have been society revolting against him and his system of oppression falling apart. That's what should have been his downfall. And that's why it doesn't work. That's the problem. Hey, Essence Flux is super good. That's great. That's what Death Note got wrong. Honestly, Light's downfall was his pride and ego, basically. Yeah, but that's not a good downfall for him. Because Death Note at no point actually contests a Light's viewpoint. Right? Like, Light just wins, and then he is correct. He is right. His system works. He does make the world a better place. And then he just gets killed. And then within the world of Death Note, you have to ask yourself, well, is this actually like, is it even good to get rid of Light now? I thought his system worked. So if his system worked, then why are we even chasing him down? Like, we understand, like, yeah. He is wrong. But is he actually wrong? The story just doesn't make a good point out of challenging Light. So one of my favorite manga is Arjun, right? And Arjun is also a story about like a corrupt government, which is basically what Death Note ends up with, right? Death Note doesn't start with a story about a corrupt government, but it ends as a story about a corrupt government, right? Let's get all of these. We're getting there. We're slow, but we're in no rush, right? So it doesn't start as a story about a corrupt government, but it ends as a story about a corrupt government. And in Arjun, you know what happens at the end? The corrupt government gets blown the fuck up. That's what happens. They just get fucking killed. And like, the system itself is broken apart in Arjun. And that's great. That's what you need there. You can't just defeat the bad guy. Because even if you defeat the bad guy, it doesn't fix the problem of there being a broken system. So in Arjun, the system doesn't survive. I don't know. Sorry. There's gonna be lots of people very upset with my interpretation of Death Note. But what I can say is I read it pretty recently. I read it really recently, and that's really what I took away from it, is that the story just didn't do, in my opinion, a very good job of actually challenging Light. And that's what needed to happen. It needed to challenge Light. It needed to challenge his ideology. It needed to challenge what he stood for. And it couldn't just give him another super genius to fight against, and then I guess, yeah, whatever, he loses. But that doesn't mean he was wrong.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
right?
2, 1.
That's the thing. There are lots and lots of people where if you go into online discussions that will say, oh, Light was right. And here's the thing. No, he isn't. He isn't. Light is wrong. Right? Like, Light is an idiot. He is wrong. His system of government is tyrannical and immoral. He is wrong. But why do people think that Light is right? Because the story itself doesn't ever challenge him. Not in the way it needed to challenge him. Right? So light's not right. Nope, light is not right. Something wrong. Light is wrong. Alright. He's not an idiot, he's a maniac. Okay, sure. We'll... You know what I mean though, right? Okay, sorry. Now we're talking very specifically about very specific... Who else wants me to talk shit about their anime? Tell me your anime, I'll talk shit about it. Also read Arjun. This is really good. This is also really good. Let's get the Kindle staff. We like having extra HP. These right here are nice. This is very good. This is very good. And we're just chilling. We're just chilling. No big deal. Shaman King is the king of anime. Shaman King is the greatest anime or greatest manga of all time. It has two endings. The first ending of Shaman King has the main characters have a dream of the antagonist. Like, they are just about to fight the big, bad, unbeatable antagonist who has committed lots and lots of murders. And then the good guy falls asleep, dreams about the bad guy in a princess costume, and then it ends. And honestly, I respect it. It doesn't get better than that. I mean, if that's not a high quality ending, then I don't know what is. I mean, like, that's just... but don't worry. It later gets another ending. It gets another ending. Where the second ending is they get to the big bad guy, and then the big bad guy kills all of them, but then they all go into the afterlife, and then in the afterlife they meet the big bad guy again, and then the big bad guy is like, haha, you will never be able to... Oh, I got initiative, that's fun. You will never be able to defeat me. And then they are like, yes, I know we can't, but she can. And then they call his mom. His mother shows up. And then his mother is like, no, you're being really mean right now. And then he's like, no. And then he stops being evil.
2, 1.
I honestly don't know which of these endings I like more. They're both excellent. Oh, it's very good. It's very good. Wait, really even more so than Blue Period. No, I'm just joking. Like, Shaman King is nonsense. My actual favorite is still Blue Period. Blue Period is excellent. Alright, so we're starting to get there. Look at this. It's not quite enough yet. We're a little short. We are a little short, but not very short. Just a little small. So, big recommendation for Shaman King.
9, 8,
Shaman King is so weird. You know how like
4, 3, 2.
you know how there are so many like shonen stories where the big bad guy is just like so overpowered, and then the good guys are just like, oh no, how can we ever defeat him? And then like they keep getting more powerful, and then they grind up and eventually they become powerful enough to take on the big bad guy, and then they somehow manage to pull it off in the end. Right, that's like the pretty standard way of doing things. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like, I do enjoy that formula. But Shaman King is weird, as I already said. So in Shaman King, the big bad guy is from the very beginning established as just like, we can't beat him? Everybody just like, yep. We just can't beat him? And as the story progresses, they're like, huh. Yeah, no, we don't really stand a chance here. This is just not gonna happen.
8,
And then, they go fight him, and
5, 4, 3.
and then they don't beat him because they just never stood a chance. And then they call his mom, and then his mom talks sense into him. Excellent storytelling. I mean, if that is not how you do a story, then I don't know how you do a story, to be completely honest. Alright, pay attention to how often we are casting our ultimate. So it's starting to get there, right? Starting to get there. I'm not a big fan of these disarms, though. Come on. Yes, look at the healing. Look at that healing. Big money. Alright, we're starting to win some fights here. A moment of courage is great. I don't actually care about Bloodthirsty Strike. That may seem a little weird, but it's 200 gold, and I don't need to deal that damage. Although I do like having additional attack triggers. Additional attack triggers are good. I don't think I care about this. Yeah, this is worth it though.
10, 9, 8.
This is worth it. I gotta get Blood of Magic maxed out, Bloodblade, like all of these things. Like poison is just not really a priority for us. Like I'll get Venom Strike, but other than that, I don't really care. Hello there. Oh, we're starting to get there. Look at this. And yeah, I think we get him. This guy is very tanky. Oh my god. Come on. Close one. Very close. Alright, roll. Arcane Storm. So this is great. Arcane Storm is going to be a lot of our damage. Right? Gain 1 stack of the effect at the start of battle. And when unleashing our ultimate, and each stack provides 30 ultimate amp and deals 75 magical damage per second. And that's really it, the magic damage. That way we actually have some good damage output, which is what we're currently lacking. So with this, now we have our damage output sorted. We want the reincarnation here if we can get it. Essence Flux would be really good as well, but seems unlikely right now. And Arcane Blade. We haven't been finding Arcane Blade, which is unfortunate. We also haven't really been finding Burst Magic. So a lot of our like attack-based mana generation we're lacking. No. It is how it is. Alright, you can see healing. It's just that constant stream of resetting. Very hard to deal with. Very hard to deal with. So you can see we're really starting to win a lot of these fights. And Arcane Storm is just carrying us. Essence Flux, perfect. Essence Flux is great. Here we go. Now this is excellent. Oh, this is... Wow. What a god tier series of shops. I mean, this honestly doesn't get better. And, yeah, I'll get Arcane Shield. Why not? Why not? Body of Region is also really good. We just get some extra healing going on, which we don't mind. But yeah, now we have Essence Flux level 2. That's huge. And, yeah, Magic Surge level 4. It's really starting to get there. I mean, we have been winning fights now. See, healing, healing, healing. Just constantly resetting our life. Do you see what I mean? With it's so hard to actually deal damage to us. Magic Suppression. That will help a lot. Magic of Cure. That will also be really, really valuable. Get more Magic of Cure. Now that people are getting knocked out. Oh my god. Yeah, I think we win. I would be surprised if we somehow lose this. This seems unlikely now. But Light of Faith, we've got a reincarnation now, which is brutal. Absolutely devastating. Main Void. Void is the character I've played the most of by far in this mode, yeah. I like Void. He's good. It is very good. What was Shingeki no Kyojin ending? You mean Attack on Titan? I'm not really a big fan of Attack on Titan, to be honest. And the ending was also very sketchy in my opinion, so not really for me. Not my favorite. Okay, look at us. Just kind of keep this going. Moment of Courage is good. So this is, by the way, why I didn't go for the, what's it called, for the Bloodthirsty Strikes thing. Because I just don't really care that much about dealing physical attack damage, right? Moment of Courage and Relentless Strikes are good because we want attack speed because that means triggers, right? And we like having those triggers. But other than that, I don't need to deal damage through attacking. That's just not important. We deal damage for everything else that we do. There we get to reading Apothecary Diaries. Yes, I read Apothecary Diaries. I quite enjoy it. I'm just kind of a big fan of medical Sherlock Holmes, I suppose. But yeah, no, that's a nice one. I'm also a big fan of just like stories where the protagonist is just ever so slightly unhinged. That's always very fun. I mean, at this point, we're just kind of cruising. Unbeatable. You see what I mean, though, right? Like, now that we have everything set up, it's just not even close anymore. Our opponents are falling apart. How about Dragon's Blood? Don't talk to me about Dragon's Blood. We should, as a community, forget Dragon's Blood exists, right? Because, like, it just makes it so that we compare ourselves to Arcane. And it's just not fair. It gives us all a really bad look. It's just embarrassing is what it is, okay? Alright. Bestial Bloodline. Just more health. We just need more health. You can see that our opponents... I mean, against that Ogre Magi, we just ended the fight at 5,000 life or something like that.
3, 2, 1.
Hello there. Poison Chaos Knight. I haven't seen that before. I wonder how that's gonna do. Just, I don't know if that's enough damage, really. No, it's not enough damage.
Cheers from Turkey.
Hey, Spectus Black. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, my friend. Alright, Relentless Strike, Magic of Cure is good. We don't care about this, right? Like, because our damage is going to be Arcane Storm. It's always important to keep in mind, like, where are you actually getting upgrades that will help you? And where are you just getting upgrades because you feel like you should buy the upgrade, right? And that's just one where I really don't think it would actually benefit us. Like, these kind of damage upgrades, okay, I guess they are damage, right? But like, do we care about that tiny bit of extra damage? Is that relevant? Oh, interesting, Shadow Fiend. So against Shadow Fiend, we have magic reduction. So you can see the Shadow Fiend, despite going for a full ultimate build, I think that was 2 casts or 1 cast of ultimate. And that's a full committed Shadow Fiend, right? Arcane Deterrence is nice. It's just a little stun. And you know what? I'll take some Fury at this stage. Like, Fury is actually pretty handy because it just gives us the ability to regenerate even more mana. We like that.
10, 9.
Oh, email for World of Dota. Okay, well. Let me have a
3, 2,
little look.
1.
Ah, there it is. Very good. Oh. I will read it later. How's it going? Have you done damage yet? I'm at 6,000 life.
How you doing? Just checking in with my monthly Prime sub, for the primest of the YouTubers. BTW, the Baumi's Ego channel is getting really good. Great work.
Thank you very much, Daniel Scott. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're still figuring stuff out over there. Like, for example, the thumbnails are very much something work in progress. We understand that the way they are right now isn't very pretty. But it's like one of those things where we're just trying to find a system that works, and then we'll probably hire a designer to make them look pretty afterwards, right? But the content I'm actually pretty happy with. Right, go get him. Are you gonna cast anything? Yes. So the Shadow Fiend managed to cast a single ultimate, and that was only the initiative ultimate at the beginning. And keep in mind, that Shadow Fiend is fully committed to ultimate. Fully committed to it. And he still wasn't able to cast anything. 59 levels of ultimate. And he couldn't cast shit because so much of his mana is just being suppressed away. Do you now see what I mean? If this is just the most powerful build, like if it's 40, how do you beat it? How can you beat this? I honestly don't know. I have no idea what you can do against it. It is so strong. It is so, so powerful. Yeah, I had initiative max essence flux and it was still not enough. It wasn't even close to enough, right? It wasn't even remotely close. Yes, it is very important that, of course, we need a shit ton of stuff to make this work. But if you get it, whoo. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.